Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to say a formal Merry Christmas. Even though this video is being recorded on Boxing Day, it doesn't matter. It's still the Christmas festive period, isn't it? And I just wanted to wish you well and a Happy New Year's in advance. We are back to the Megxit and the Harry updates because of course this couple never stops even during the festive season. I was looking forward to having a break, not really covering them, but so much has happened. Meghan and Harry are begging for an extension to their Megxit deal contract. You know, the one that they struck up in January with the rest of the senior members of the royal family, Charles, William and the Queen. Well, they're begging for more time. It seems as though they're not quite ready to let go of those titles just yet. They need them for a little while longer before their feet land firmly on the ground in the United States of America. All of their PR tricks and stunts don't seem to have bagged them the $1 billion that they were gunning for, and I think that they are worried about their saleability if they do not have the Duke and Duchess titles. So they are begging for more time, which doesn't really come as a surprise, and they don't really have many more gimmicks left. They've pulled all the kind of publicity and PR stunts that any PR firm could possibly drum up, and when it comes down to it, what do they really have to offer outside of their royal connection? Well, not a lot. Meghan is trying to set herself up financially and independently of her husband for that elusive day when she decides that she has gotten enough out of this relationship and she wishes to move forward with her life. She has her vegan latte investment and she also has other projects brewing, I believe. The Christmas card that we never asked for surely did come. I thought that they was actually joking at one point. I didn't realise it was actually a real thing, that they would really be releasing a Christmas card. But there you have it. It was a real thing. They did release it. And they ensured to heavily use the royal colour blue, which represents being of royal blood. Blue-blooded is the word. And they had the most blue overtones in their picture compared to anyone else in the royal firm. Charles's and Camilla's Christmas card wasn't as heavily influenced with the colour blue, and neither was William and Kate's Christmas card with the children. Meghan and Harry really wanted to ram it down our throats that they are still royal and they are still very much a part of the firm, even though they have decided to go to America. Everything they do is in sync with the rest of the royal family, despite the fact that they did not want to be a part of it, which is interesting because they've made a song and dance about not being a part of it, and yet here they are doing everything to look as though they are still in the firm. The mind boggles. Anyway, so I found this article by The Sun, which is a publication that Meghan and Harry obviously detest, but I'm going to get on with it anyway. Prince Harry and Meghan are brokering an extension to the 12-month Megxit deal, and the prince plans to return here in the new year to seal it. They want a more permanent agreement to continue as non-working royals in California, despite big money deals with Netflix and Spotify. They will make friendly video calls to senior royals next month before Harry heads here for face-to-face talks, possibly accompanied by Meghan. Their deal with Buckingham Palace expires on March 31st. Talks are said to be less confrontational than at January's Sandringham summit, but royal aides will pore over the Netflix and Spotify deals, reportedly worth £100 million and £30 million respectively, to ensure they meet the values of Her Majesty. Harry and Meghan are said to be keen to hang on to their royal patronages despite taking on more commercial commitments in the United States of America. Sources say those roles remain on the negotiating table, and Harry's military roles stripped in the bitter Megxit deal remain vacant and will not be filled until next summer at the earliest. The Sun understands. That's the end of the article. It's an extremely short article, and of course there are 448 comments by people who simply have had enough, I imagine, of the Megxit and the Harry debacle. A lot of people are confused as to why the British papers continue to cover this couple, because what they've done is simply outrageous, unheard of, and to be honest, quite distasteful for members of the royal firm, and therefore newspaper publications will keep on writing about them. Of course, we all want to know how the story ends and what happens. So some people have left quite a few interesting comments, and one person has said, "A pity we can't comment on the story about this odious pair wanting to extend their sabbatical another 12 months to use the term royal to make more money. I hope the Queen sees through this latest con and cuts them off at the knees." Someone else has gone on to say, "So you spent lots of money on a playhouse. No one really cares. Maybe your LA friends will, but no interest here." Of course, the people in LA may be impressed. Someone else has gone on to say, "If I was 100% convinced that this couple was not receiving a single cent of the UK taxpayers' money for their security or anything else, then I honestly couldn't give a rat's pooper about them or their phony life. Fact is, I'm still waiting to be convinced." And that's just the thing, isn't it? Us as British taxpayers are questioning whether we're still paying for that security, which I think we are. A deal on the table from Spotify and Netflix does not cover their monthly outgoing costs that are mounting and mounting. Of course, we're still covering that. They haven't done any work, they haven't fulfilled on any contracts, and they can't truly talk about any independent successes outside of the firm. So how can we really truly be convinced that they are fully financially independent? And also, how can we really distinguish them from their royal connections when they are still insisting on keeping that title? And I know the Queen is soft in the heart. She loves her grandson to bits, and her great-grandson, of course. And therefore, she has allowed them to continue on using the titles because she does want them to succeed. I truly believe that she does, and it's understandable. Sometimes you just let your family do some of the most horrendous things because you simply love them. But there has to come a point whereby she has to take the British taxpayers' feelings into consideration, because we do have a dog in this race and we are very much a part of the story until they stop taking our money. And even if they do formally stop taking our money, will we truly be happy and satisfied? Because let's face it, we have funded their new life in America. We have given them their extremely lavish, glamorous start to make it out there. And we have not been repaid. We have not been thanked. We've been treated like enemies of the Megxit and the Harry. And it's rather unacceptable, I personally feel. Someone else went on to say, £5,000 on a Wendy house, and they will soon be passing their thoughts to those who are struggling and not feeling like they are part of the raindrop community. Remember, folks, we are all raindrops. And it's true. Do as I say and not as I do. Meghan and Harry like to preach to the less fortunate. They like to tell us how we should act and what we should do. But interestingly enough, they are not living a humble, meagre life. How many trees were chopped down to make that little cottage in the Christmas card? And it's a never-ending unfolding story. And my festive season has been interrupted by the shenanigans of the Megxit and the Harry. I'll be back for another video. Bye guys.